Are you trying to pick me up or something? What?
Yeah.
What is this?
Happy anniversary.
Well, this isn't going to release on our anniversary, but we're recording it on our anniversary.
On our anniversary. So, how's your week gone?
It's been great because I haven't been at fucking work. It's wonderful. I've been digging through junk in a garage.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
It's great. It's better than work.
Yeah. Well, I dig through junk at work, I guess.
So how's your week been? I mean,
It's great. It's been awesome.
because you're not at work the rest of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only had to work 2 days this week, so I'm okay. with
That's a tragedy.
that. That I had to work?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Welcome to the podcast. Wait until you see this. A podcast about movies and a husband and wife torturing each other with said movies.
I like to keep the spice in our relationship.
So one has seen it, the other one hasn't. That was disturbing. That's pretty much the formula, I guess.
Back to formula.
Back to formula. So today we're reviewing 1998's Blade.
You better wake up. The world you live in is just a sugar-coated topping. There is another world beneath it. The real world.
For thousands of years, they have existed among us.
You keep your eyes open. They're everywhere. Chances are you've seen them yourself and didn't know it.
A secret nation
Our livelihood depends on our ability to blend in.
with a lust for power.
We should be ruling the humans. These people are our food.
They've got their claws into everything. Politics, finance, real estate.
There's a war going on out there. He makes the weapons. I use them.
Now, one will lead them to conquer mankind,
Tonight, the age of man comes to an end.
We're gonna be gods.
and one will try to stop him dead.
There are worse things out tonight than vampires.
Like what?
Like me.
Half human,
Blade's mother was attacked by a vampire while she was pregnant.
half immortal.
You got the best of both worlds. All our strengths, none of our weaknesses.
He is their greatest fear and our only hope.
It's open season on all vampires.
Wesley Snipes, Stephen Dorff,
You're one of them, aren't you?
No, I'm something else.
Blade.
Alright, so Blade, comic book movie. It opens in 1967, where a woman is being worked on, I guess you would say.
Like a truck.
In the ER, she's been bitten by a vampire and is very pregnant. And then she dies. Spoiler alert for a
25.
26
26.
year old movie. So she dies, and then it goes to the vampire rave. So Tracy Lords makes her appearance in this movie. I always think of Tracy Lords from Crybaby. I don't think of Tracy Lords from her question.
Porn.
Her
She did porn.
underage porn.
Yes.
Yes. I don't think about it like that. I think about her from Crybaby. Tracy Lords drags the guy into a rave.
It's in a
essentially.
meat packing plant.
It is. It's like there's meat hanging from the ceiling.
So did Rocky work there?
He may have. I mean, this is a little past his time, but I don't think he was working there when the rave was happening.
Maybe he's a vampire.
Ah. So it was a vampire rave. And you actually see, as you're walking into the rave, guys walk by with huge bags of blood.
That's catering.
Yeah. It soon becomes apparent that this man is a human and no one else around him is. They're all vampires. The sprinklers start raining down blood on everyone. So here's my question. Working in the medical field that I have, for as long as I have, do they put anticoags in the blood? And is that how? Like, how is it not clotting? What triggered these sprinklers?
It's magic.
I mean, the blood should have clotted unless the sprinklers were warm, but then you have to have a trigger for the sprinklers.
Not necessarily. I mean, it could just be the sprinklers look like fire suppression, but it's actually just you turn a fucking valve and they kick on.
True, very true. But once again, how did the blood not clot?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know anything about blood. I know about plumbing.
Okay.
At least I explained that. Shit.
Thank you. So sorry.
Jesus.
The rave happens and everybody turns into vampires except for this dude. I'm sure there's some other humans there. We just don't see them.
I'm surprised there weren't more there.
Yeah. There may have been that they didn't focus on.
That one guy isn't going to feed that room.
No. I mean, it was packed. And then Blade comes in and starts slaying vampires. And you have Stephen Dorff as Deacon Frost. Donald, I don't know how to say it, Logue?
Yeah, call him Logue.
Sure. His character's name is Quinn. He is also a vampire.
Most of this movie's vampires.
Yeah. Fun fact, the character of Quinn was only supposed to be a small part, but the director liked the actor so much, he expanded the part.
That happens.
Yeah, it does. Blade is killing vampires. He gets Quinn pinned to the wall, and he gets burnt like he's a crispy critter.
He's torched like a horse stable in my hometown.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then he goes to the morgue. You have Dr. Karen.
Rituals?
Yeah, that's it. And she's looking at blood samples from the corpse for some reason. And
What? Why was she looking at those?
I don't know.
Because they wouldn't have done, like, toxicity like that.
No.
You can't see that through a microscope.
I don't think so. I think you would have to test it with like a...
Spinny thing.
yeah, one of those spinny things.
Gyroscope.
No, that's not it.
Oh, a Euroscope.
No, that's not it either. So she's looking at the blood for some reason. I'm assuming to move the plot along. They go
Probably.
see him. They go see him, and dude is like blackened from head to toe.
He's well done. He is Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru at this point.
Yes, he is. And the first thing she looks at are his teeth, and notice how the muscle structure around his canines is weird.
I'm starting to think she's not a very good pathologist.
I would say not. And then guess what? Surprise, he's not dead, and he comes back to life, and he starts attacking people and fights her, and here comes Blade. And
Well, doesn't he attack her ex-boyfriend?
yes, he attacks her ex-boyfriend.
Who's trying to get back together with her.
Yes.
And she doesn't want to. And honestly, that was a mercy killing. This guy was total simp.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, yeah, kill that fucking guy. I was afraid that guy was going to be in the movie longer.
Oh, he wasn't, thank God. So, Blade saves Dr. Karen. They go back to his hideout, or base, or whatever you want to call it.
His warehouse.
His warehouse.
Cliche!
And they save her with the essence of garlic. Like, they inject her with, like, this combination of essence of garlic and something else. I don't remember what it was. I'm like, now, does she smell of garlic all the time now? Or...
That would suck. Just let me die.
And
Good.
Whistler, who is the guy behind all these inventions of blades and essentially saved Blade,
Q, yeah, Q.
is like, well, if you start feeling sensitive to the sunlight, and I'm like, bitch, I'm always sensitive to the sunlight. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm
So,
pasty.
so if someone's changing and if you're really desperate, do you just drag them into a Papa John's? Just pour that shit on them?
Probably.
Not that I would, even at that point, I wouldn't go into a Papa John's. I have fucking standards.
As low as they may be,
Yeah.
you have standards. Blade is on a mission to get Deacon Frost. And come to find out, Deacon Frost has his own agenda.
No.
He wants to eradicate humans.
Well,
So you're killing your food source?
Yeah, how's that going to work?
Yeah, I don't know. I do know, actually. In my research, there was a scene in the movie that got cut that explained how they would keep their food source. Is they would harvest humans. Kind of like The Matrix, I guess.
There's another movie. What the hell was it called? Daylight, Daybreak, I can't remember. But it had Sam Neill and William Dafoe. And I think
Daybreakers?
Maybe it's Daybreakers.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
And I think, is it Ethan Hunt?
Ethan Hunt?
Ethan Hawke.
I was like...
Ethan Hunt's
Mission
Impossible.
Impossible.
Our crack staff is looking that up now.
Yep. Daybreakers, 2009.
Yeah. And I think they
Ethan
have
Hawke,
a food source.
Willem Dafoe. Sam Neill.
Sam Neill. I think they have like a food source thing set up because...
Yep, they sure do.
Because vampires have taken over. So this could be a sequel to Blade if, spoiler, Deacon Frost doesn't pull this off.
Okay, so this movie was made in 2009. Daybreakers was made in 2009, and it's set in 2019.
Ooh. It's another thing I like is movies were set in the future, but the future's now in the past.
They have this vampire Bible. La Magra, I believe, is the entity that's going to come back and...
Does everyone need a book?
Yes, everyone needs their own Bible. Oh, and he finds this out by breaking into the vampire headquarters, and
it's like the Vampire National Archives.
It is. And then there's this creature there called Pearl. I don't know exactly what Pearl is, but behind the scenes, it took 4 people to operate Pearl, and it was about 700 pounds of latex.
So, Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, they called him Biscuit Boy. Didn't she call him Biscuit Boy?
He looks like the Michelin Man.
Just kind of squished.
He's a husky fella.
He is a husky fella. They torture him. They get this information out of him using a UV light. So Dr. Karen is holding the UV light on him and is burning him. So.
She's fucking brutal with that.
She is.
She's like, take that. And just holds it. Even after he gives up the shit.
Yeah.
She's still holding it on him.
She's still holding the light on him.
And Blade's like, you want to calm down with that a little bit? Upstairs, they're going, oh, I think my biscuits are burning.
Blade's ultimate goal here is to find out who killed his mother and turned him into the hybrid vampire he is. So he ages like a human. He's not sensitive to the light like other vampires.
Yeah, he's hanging out in the daylight.
Yeah. They call him Daywalker. He's got vampire superpowers, and he takes this serum that helps him suppress his bloodthirst. I'm assuming that's what this does.
His hunger.
His hunger. The other vampires know about, especially Frost, knows about Blade's serum.
So what does he eat?
I have no idea.
Is he picking up, a Big Mac? Whopper?
I doubt that. He likes some bloody.
Yeah, you don't have to cook that. That's fine. Can you put a little extra of that Mac sauce on there?
Also, I would like to know where Deacon Frost gets his SPF from. Because dude is out in the sunlight.
Well, he's not a full vampire either.
He is a full vampire.
He's not an OG vampire.
He's not an OG.
He was turned.
He was turned. He wasn't created. There's so many questions I have. I'm assuming a lot of the comic books would answer these questions.
You know what else could answer some of this?
My brother?
Twilight.
Fuck Twilight. No, no, please. Please.
Was there 4 or 5 of those?
I don't know.
Like there's
I've never
5?
watched them.
I've seen 4 out of the 5, but I'll watch the 5 just for you.
Yes, you would.
Because I love you.
I love you too.
Next week, Twilight.
No.
On the show.
No. 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 I'm going to cry.
It's not Twilight.
Oh, thank Christ. Frost and his gang find out where their base is, right? So he's pissed. So he comes and he kills Whistler and kidnaps Karen. And so there's this montage of Blade making weapons, silver bullets, hollow point silver bullets to kill the vampires. And he goes and rescues Karen, kills the vampires. Karen has made this solution, I guess, and it makes the vampires explode. I don't know.
I made this thing. It's called nitroglycerin.
It makes the vampires explode.
It's the garlic sauce from Papa John's.
Oh, God, this is the most boring podcast ever. I'm just all over the place. So he's got this thing. So he breaks back into the warehouse to get Karen, or the vampire headquarters, to get Karen and kill Deacon Frost. He finds out that Deacon Frost is the one who turned his mother.
Da-da-da.
Didn't kill her. She's still alive.
Da-da-da.
As a vampire. And living in Deacon Frost's
harem. Tree.
Well, they go to the Temple of Eternal Night. What the fuck is this?
I like that look on your face. Like, what the fuck?
The Temple of Eternal Night. Blade's mom is wanting him to take part in the ceremony to bring La Magra so that everybody can turn into vampires, or anybody who's a vampire doesn't survive. I'm not entirely sure what La Magra is going to do.
It's one of those superhero movie things where the big bad is trying to create something that we have no idea what the end result's going to be. See Suicide Squad with that, whatever the fuck that witch built.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure the function, but Blade is part of this, and they slit his wrists, and so that they can use his blood for that to come. And Karen finds him, because she's a strong woman who can take care of herself. She finds him, tries to save him. He's running out of time. His serum is wearing off. He's dying. And so she's like, take my blood. So he does. And the scene is very erotic, I would say. I would say it was a good representation of a sex scene, right? But without the sex. Just the intimacy, I guess.
Oh, it's intimate.
Oh, my God.
He stuck it right in her.
That he did. So he survives, and then he goes and kills everybody. I mean... I don't know where else to go. His mom is no help. He ends up killing her.
He killed his own mother.
Yeah. Again.
So in the sequels, do they introduce Dad?
No, they don't.
They never introduce Dad?
No, they don't.
Okay.
Fun fact about the sequel. Morbius was supposed to be in the sequel as the big bad, but since Sony had the Spider-Man rights,
yeah,
they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Anywho, what'd you think?
What did I think? Well, I've got some notes.
All right, share your notes.
Okay, first, 1967 medical equipment was definitely not from 1967.
No.
I mean, if they had this shit, they possibly could have saved Kennedy. If it had been a couple years earlier.
Yeah.
I'm too old to go to a rave because my head would hurt and I get nauseous.
Yeah, the flashing lights was a bit...
The CGI?
Very 90s.
It's very, very 90s.
It's like the blood was like glittery. It looked like slime or something.
They went through a lot of it.
They did.
And when they ate the guy in the rave and they doused him with blood, all I kept thinking of is this 9.5 weeks? A lot of late 90s hair. The boyfriend has that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very 90s movie.
Mm-hmm.
Late 90s. Udo fucking Kier.
I know. We didn't even talk about him.
Is in this. Udo Kiering all over the place. Can't believe they got him to be a vampire. Holy shit.
It was a stretch.
I was like, oh, Udo Kier.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets fucking torched on the beach.
Yeah. So that's one thing I was thinking about. In the scene where they kill him, they all put biker helmets on, right? And they pull the visor down, okay? But when Frost goes to the playground and has that little girl, there's no protection on his eyes whatsoever.
Was it overcast or?
Nope.
Plot hole. Call it plot hole.
I was like, so you had to eye protection in one instance, but not in another, but with the same thing. I mean, you can still get sunburn on a day that's overcast.
Oh, I know.
So, anywho, plot hole. That's all I got. Blade's car is a Dodge Charger with mods on it.
There's not much fuel safety in this film.
Mm-mm.
Whistler's filling it up with gas while
Smoking.
got fucking Marlboro hanging out of his mouth.
Well, he's not only smoking, he's just lighting it up while he's doing it. I mean,
He also listens to CCR, so
yeah, he does.
they have a little conversation, then he just turns it back on. He's like, I don't want to fucking talk anymore.
Did you know that this movie is considered the beginning of the rise of the superhero movies?
Really?
Yes. This, of course, follows 1997's Batman and Robin.
Hey, that made money.
Wesley Snipes did not want to be Blade. He wanted to be Black Panther. And they weren't going to do a Black Panther movie, so they did a Blade movie. They also considered Denzel Washington and Lawrence Fishburne for Blade. I think it would have been a very different movie.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes is perfect as Blade.
He is perfect for Blade. His favorite Blade movie is the second one. He hates the third one.
From what I've heard, everybody hates the third one.
Probably.
So is the second one just called Blade 2?
I believe so.
And then it's Blade Trinity.
Yes. My brother is a Blade aficionado, and his favorite Blade movie is the second one.
So it's like the Empire Strikes Back of this trilogy.
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so.
I haven't seen any of them.
Well,
I stocked them
yes.
where I work.
We did find a copy in the house, so.
It took me an hour of digging through boxes, but I found a high-def version
Oh, yes, with all three of the movies.
of all three.
Mm-hmm. Stan Lee actually had a cameo in this movie,
Where?
but they cut him out.
Fuck this movie.
It was at the beginning where with the vampire rave and all the cops come in. He was a cop.
I thought it was going to be a vampire at the rave. That would have been awesome.
That would have been so much better.
Jesus. God. I can't. It's terrible. Is he in the second one?
I don't remember.
Cut it.
Did you know that David Fincher helped with the script?
No shit.
I know.
Because this was the year after 7, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell. I'm surprised he wanted to mess with it after the screwing he took with Alien 3? Yeah, Alien 3. Alien Cubed.
There's a line at the end of the movie where Blade says that guy's like he's ice skating uphill. That wasn't actually part of the script. It was a line that Wesley Snipes used to describe Frost's character. And the director liked it so much he put it in. So, what'd you think?
Wesley Snipes was perfect.
Yes.
The movie, not so much.
Yeah.
I would probably have liked this better if I had seen it when it came out.
Probably.
But now it's 25, 26 years later, and I've been beaten over the fucking head with superhero movies.
Mm-hmm.
It just... all the exposition and superhero origin movies are a pain in the ass. And we've gotten to the point when we reboot a superhero, we don't even bother with its origin because you've seen it 20 times.
Right.
There was a lot of exposition going on.
Right. I mean, it's the first.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I think if I had watched it in the late 90s, I would have liked it a lot better than I do now. Right now, I'm just like, Wesley Snipes is good. But, yeah, it's another superhero movie.
When I saw it when it first came out, I really enjoyed it. Like you said, this was, well, like I said, I guess, before all the superhero genre.
Yeah, they were
exploded.
Spaced out back then.
I am definitely part of the superhero fatigue crowd. When Flash came out, I didn't even care about seeing it. I was literally coerced into going to the movies to go see it. My child wanted to see it. The two of you, Nick and Chris, had already seen it. I did not care to see it at all.
Well, and the main reason I went to see it was nostalgia because it's Michael Keaton as Batman again.
Right.
I really didn't care about its plot because I knew it wasn't going to matter because they had already said, we're rebooting everything.
Right.
And I'm like, so what's the point?
Yeah, there is no point.
All the shows.
I don't care. I don't care.
I mean, this year they're kind of taking the year off
Thank God.
Everybody is. It's because I think there's Deadpool and Wolverine, which is a gimme. I mean,
Right. I would
I'm gonna
like
go
to
see
see
that.
that.
But that's more fucking nostalgia
Yeah.
because it's Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
I didn't care about Madam Web. I didn't care about Blue Beetle.
I watched it at home.
We watched it at home, but it was like, okay, well, I guess we haven't seen this one, so let's,
And Furiosa just bombed
right.
this past weekend. I'd like to see it. I'd kind of like to see it at the drive-in.
Well, it took us forever to see Guardians, the new Guardians
Yeah.
movie.
But
I just don't care.
I think it's just a pain to get to the theater. And it always has been, especially if you have kids, you gotta get them taken care of. Because
You can't take them to these movies.
you can't take them to see Furiosa.
No.
You've gotta figure out time because, believe it or not, movie show times are the drizzling shits now.
Oh, they're the worst. Well, and the older you get, you're like, 8 o'clock? Are you insane?
I don't mind 8 o'clock. It's when it's 10:30.
Oh, God, 10 and 30 is worse.
But it's just like, I remember a time when every movie in the theater had a start time between 6:45 and 7:20. Every movie.
Yeah.
And they don't do that anymore.
Nope.
So it's a bigger pain in the ass to schedule that out. Plus the cost.
And the runtime of these movies.
Everything's over 2 hours now.
Right.
And I think a lot of people, they hold back and they're like, I'm not going to see it in the theater because it's going to be on streaming.
And it's going to cost you an arm and a leg to go
Yeah.
see it.
I
Let's see. You and I went, what did we go see?
Say the title. Say it.
What did we go see?
Say it. The title. Say the title.
I can't remember. What did we go see?
The Ministry
Oh,
of...
the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. And that night cost us, well, thankfully my parents watched our daughter, but the movie was over 2 hours. It cost us, what, $30 to go see it, just the two of us. And that's just...
27.
Wow, I'm so sorry. But then, and did we get drinks?
Yeah, I think so. Which you have to get a drink now because it's over 2
2
fucking
hours.
hours. I eat before I go, so I avoid popcorn unless someone else is paying.
Right. Well, and we ate beforehand.
Yeah.
It's ridiculously expensive. It's cheaper to watch it at home, and then we can watch it after our child goes to bed, and we don't have to worry about picking her up or anything like that.
And they drop them so fast. I mean, they're the reasons movies are bombing because...
Right. Well,
We're-
I can wait.
Yeah.
I can't afford to go. It's just...
I mean, the movies I want to go see, besides Deadpool 3, are all just small, non-franchise... Well, I guess one of them is, but we'll talk about that in a little
Well,
bit.
and then we've got to find a time to do it. We've got to find someone to watch her.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, the two of you go see it, and then I stay home with her.
Well, a lot of the stuff we go see, nobody else wants to go. Like Thanksgiving or Exorcist Believer. Wow. Might as well flush my money down the fucking toilet on that one.
Well, I still want to go see Deadpool and Wolverine, but just the logistics of going to see it it's exhausting.
Oh, I know. It's that combined with everything drops on streaming so fast.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. It's the same shit over and over again.
It
That's
is.
the thing.
God, oh my God. I'm just so over it. I'm so over it. I'm still mad at DC.
Here we go.
I will always, I don't know how long I'll hold on to this one, but I'm still mad at DC. I don't know. I'm glad House of the Dragon is coming back. Bridgerton Part 2's coming up. I'm sure by the time this gets released, it'll be over.
The Joker 2.
The Joker 2. I didn't even see The Joker, because I don't care that much. I just don't care.
It's a movie that didn't need a sequel. And this time it sounds like it's a musical.
Wow. I mean, I like musicals, but like when it's supposed to be musical, you know what I'm saying? Like Les Mis was a musical that got turned into a movie. 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. Musical. Movie.
I'll wait till it's on Max.
Yeah, I don't care.
Because the same month, Terrifier 3 comes out, and I'm going to go
you'd rather
see that. It's a Christmas movie.
So are you going to tell me, or are we going to talk about the other movies we saw?
Tell you what.
Oh, well, you're going to finish. How many stars? How many stars?
How many stars?
How many stars you get, Blake?
2.5. It's mid. There, I said it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're going to be on my brother's shit list.
Why?
I give it 3 because I got some nostalgia for it. Why did you never see this movie?
I have no idea. I really don't know. I mean, the period when it came out, I wasn't really going to the movies much.
You were newly married.
Yeah.
Not to me.
But I don't know. I never had a hankering to see it. Because I'm like, I didn't even know he was a vampire. Or had anything to do with vampires until years later. I thought, well, is this like some kung fu shit? He's got a sword. Okay.
Got all kinds of weapons. Yeah.
I may sit down and try to watch the sequel because we got all the bullshit out of the way in this one.
Correct.
So,
And I mean, from what I've heard, the second one is the superior movie. I have seen all 3 of them. So
yeah. 2.5.
2.5. That's fair. That's fair.
Totally mid.
I give it 3, but to each their own. Anything else? Anything you want to add? Subtract?
Nope.
Okay.
That's Blade.
So in the meantime, we have watched
Movies.
We watched some movies together that neither one of us had seen. You want to talk about these first, and then we'll go to see what we're watching next, or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll save that for the end.
Save that for the end.
That way
Okay.
you've got to stay on here and listen to us talk about this shit.
Sorry if we put you to sleep. So we watched X.
Malcolm X,
No, with it's got Jenna Ortega and
Mia Goth,
Mia Goth.
and
Kid Cudi.
Yeah.
I had actually heard about this movie. I listened to a podcast.
Podcast. I listened to a podcast. What's a weekend?
I listened to a podcast called That Was Pretty Scary with Freddie Prinze Jr. and John Lee Brody, and they review horror movies. And one of the movies they had reviewed was X. They're only on their second season, but during the first season they recommended a few movies that we watched and that we enjoyed them. And a lot of the movies that they talk about are movies that we had seen or something up our alley we would watch. So they did X. So I knew how this movie played out because I had listened to that.
I did not.
You did not.
I had an idea.
Right. So.
Because look at the plot.
Right.
You know where this shit's going.
Right. So it's on Amazon. We watched it on Amazon. Is that right?
It was on Netflix.
Oh, that's right.
They were both on Amazon, and then you know how shit moves with streaming. By the way, if you ever want to know what streaming service a movie is on,
oh yeah,
get Plex and type in the movie. It'll show you where the fucker's at. It's beautiful.
It'll tell you the cost. And...
Yeah. Oh, I'm not paying.
Oh, I know.
I'll wait.
El Cheapo. So we watched X on Netflix. I mean, it was pretty good. I know you really liked it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was great. 1979.
Very slasher. Blood.
In a house in the middle of nowhere.
Gore.
Being stalked.
In Texas.
In Texas. Oh, yeah. Had that whole chainsaw vibe to it.
Yeah, it did. You kept saying that.
Yeah. I'm like, man, this feels like
Chainsaw.
Got the weird people in the house. The weird old people.
Mm-hmm. The house is a total fucking...
dump.
Ugh.
So you get the idea. They get clipped off one by one.
Yes.
And plot twist, it's the old woman doing most of it.
Yeah.
Hubby kind of cleans up the mess.
She does most of the killing. He does the cleaning.
And they have a hot sex scene in it.
Oh my god. Should I say about the old woman or?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the old woman is played by Mia Goth, who also plays the main character, Maxine. And she's the surviving girl. Everybody else is
dead.
Quite graphically, too.
Then we watched the prequel.
Pearl, which is the name of the old woman.
And it's...
also played by Mia Goth.
Yeah, it's a complete 180. Where X is just darkness, this one is shot in beautiful Technicolor.
Oh, absolutely. The house looks brand new.
Yeah. That pretty much shows that she's been fucked in the head for her whole life because she wanted to be in...
She wanted to be in pictures.
Yeah.
She wanted to be famous. And that clearly didn't happen because in X, she's still living in the farmhouse.
Her husband is in World War I. This is set in 1918.
Right.
So she ends up having an affair with a character called the Projectionist.
Yeah, he doesn't have a name. I don't think he did.
Yeah, he does. He's the new Superman.
Don't get me started.
Oh, you've already been started.
Fucking DC.
So she goes off the rails and starts killing people. The end.
Her mother, her father, her sister-in-law,
The Projectionist.
the projectionist,
The Goose.
a goose. This was clearly shot during COVID
Oh, yeah, because,
because they referenced the Spanish flu and about having to wear masks.
well, I guess they fleshed out the script when they were in quarantine to go into New Zealand to shoot the movie, because you had to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Right.
So they were trying to get backstory for the character Pearl,
Mm-hmm.
and it turned into
Pearl.
an entire movie.
Right. Yeah, she's a little fucked in the head.
Then the third one comes out in July.
Maxine with 3 X's.
And
That
I
she sent in 1980.
1985.
Okay.
Right in that sweet spot right there. And I guess they shot it with 80s equipment. So it's shot on film.
Yeah, it looks, I mean, from the previews, it looks very
80s.
80s.
And it's Maxine, but someone is stalking her? Well, Kevin Bacon's stalking her.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon's in it.
Well, I think because the first 2 movies did so well, they were able to get Kevin Bacon, and someone else is in it. I can't remember. Someone.
With a big name.
Do you think Kevin Bacon dances in the movie? Because that would be super. What if they go into a club and Kenny Loggins' Footloose is playing?
I don't think that happens. Let's see.
Did she ever call the cops?
Mia Goth. Well, the cop showed up at the end of X. Elizabeth Debicki, Bobby Cannavale, Lily Collins, Halsey's in this. Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he was in it.
Uli Latukeef.
Can we get Udo Kier?
Ned Vaughn. Is Udo Kier still alive?
Yeah, I think he's still alive. Because I confuse him and Bruno Ganz because, well, they're both German. But I think Bruno Ganz died. But yeah, Maxine. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
And we got one more movie to talk about.
Oh, God.
I am a connoisseur of slasher flicks from 78 to 85, 86. There was one I wanted to see called Fatal Games.
Oh, my God. It was so bad.
Which the plot is a slasher is taking out members of a team of athletes that were training to go to the Olympics because it's 1984. So if you wanted to see people killed with a javelin, the only weapon used for an hour and a half, Fatal Games is the way to go. Come see the movie that rips off the ending to Sleepaway Camp poorly.
I called it, like, what, halfway through?
Yeah, you said it was who it was. We're not going to spoil this. But the fact that this person at the end leaves a newspaper clipping just lying in their office.
It's not a clipping. It's the whole fucking newspaper.
So they kept the whole paper.
The whole paper. It's like front page news on this shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
It was 1984. That was insane
How old is
shit.
this paper? How old is this paper, though?
I don't know.
Why would you have this old-ass paper sitting here?
In your office.
Are you torturing yourself for this?
You had to have brought that to work. You had that newspaper at home. You brought that to your office. Because they didn't have the job when this went down. Because everybody would know it went down. It's bad by early 80s slasher standards. It's bad.
It is bad.
I was totally disappointed. I wanted people to get hit with a discus.
A javelin. Consistently a
It
javelin.
was all javelin. I very disappointed. Saltburn disappointed in that one.
Oh, God.
But Fatal Games. Watch it on Shudder.
Please don't. It was bad.
Oh, you can watch it. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
Do whatever the fuck you want to.
You can turn the show off right now for all I fucking care.
All right. What am I watching?
I already told you.
No fucking way.
No.
You're not fucking making me watch Twilight.
No. So we're in the depths of summer, and I've decided it's time to go to my sweet spot. So, from 1981,
Oh my god.
starring Jason Alexander, Holly Hunter, and a cast of thousands to be slaughtered. Not thousands, but it's a little thing we like to call The Burning.
The Burning?
Yes.
Okay.
Slasher in the Woods.
Oh, your favorite.
Yes. It's about time. You knew it was coming. There was going to be a Slasher in the Woods movie, and I'm like, late July? It's perfect. Perfect time. Also, it was written and produced by Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, great.
So, we've done Polanski.
Let's do Weinstein.
Here's Harvey Weinstein. I figure you could come up with, maybe next time you could do Leonard Part 6 or Ghost Dad.
Mm-mm.
And then I could do See No Evil, Hear No Evil, which has Kevin Spacey. We could rename this the Problematic Podcast.
Podcast.
But yeah, The Burning.
All right.
And it's 1981. The golden year of the slasher.
If you say so.
One came out practically, on average, every other week.
That's a lot.
It's beautiful.
It's a lot of slashers.
I think 32 came out in 81.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Most of them are crap, but...
Alrighty then. That's it for this episode of Wait Until You See This. Watch it, don't watch it. Do whatever the fuck you want, I guess. Until next time.
Aloha for just a while.
Bye.